Ashton, you're from Detroit and you are a Black tech founder. How has your culture played a role in your work?
One thing about, I would say, Black culture is confidence and self-belief and swag, I would say. So, leaning into that as a founder, when you're pitching, when you're taking meetings, people notice that, and it's something that's different than what they're used to in the status quo. So some people levitate to that. I think one of the biggest things that I learned throughout my journey was to embrace my culture, use it as a superpower.
Can you give advice to young, aspiring Black founders?
I feel like in the Black community, we feel that the only way to success is to be an artist or an athlete, because that's all we know or we see. My biggest thing is just exposure and see other avenues and opportunities. The world around you is opportunities. Every single thing that you do, every experience that you have, you should think about it on, is that a problem? Is that something that can be solved?
Only 1% of VC funding in 2022 went to Black founders. What was something that you learned from your experience that you can share with others?
If people believe in you, they'll support you, but you have to understand the industry, you have to understand the business, and you have to understand the skill of what it means to raise capital. But it is possible, it's just a little harder for us, and we have to find the people that are supporting us and only focus on them.
The position that you have now, what do you hope others will learn from you?
That's possible. A lot of Black founders, especially from inner cities or smaller cities, don't necessarily see a path or don't have the right access to resources. These are the spaces that you need to be in. These are the steps that you can take. These are the people that you can connect with. You can do it. It's just more so you just need access and opportunity. You need to take advantage of those opportunities every time you get. And I think I'm a big proof and component of that. I didn't go to Ivy. I went to a state college from public schools, so I feel like a lot of founders can see themselves in me to show that's possible and that you can really achieve your dreams if you put your mind to it.
Getting into the athlete space, what advice would you give to Black student athletes who are working on building their personal brand and trying to get deals?
Know your audience. Really understand who follows you and why. Don't just post just to post, but post for a reason if you're thinking about growing your brand on social. And then second is you have to understand what the business behind what's going on is. So what I mean by that is if you have an agency, if you have somebody helping you manage it, that doesn't mean that you don't have to know anything. It actually means you just can have support. So you still should be reading your contracts and understanding your contracts, right? You still should be understanding your finances. You have to be involved in everything that you're doing so that you're knowledgeable, so that you can catch things if something is fishy. Because if you don't have the knowledge, that's how you get taken advantage of. Take that time, invest into yourself and learning that so that you can save yourself a lot of time, money, and heartache in the future.
And February marks Black History Month, so what does Black History Month mean to you?
In the world that my parents were born into, and the world that my parents grew up in, and the world that my grandparents grew up in, these opportunities weren't available for them, right? So it's a sense of gratitude, it's a sense of pride, and it's a sense of representation to show that we have a lot of creativity, we have a lot of great ideas in our community. We just need access and we need the resources to push them out. But also it's a sense of responsibility to push things forward, to continue to support Black athletes, but also support other Black founders around me to not be a gatekeeper and give information so that I could make the journey of the next person behind me more easier. But ultimately, feeling good to be Black and being proud of my heritage.